What is up everybody, it's Animac here for Anime Uproar, and in this video we will be talking about Class 1A student Minoru Mineta, one of the most divisive characters in the Boku no Hero fandom. Some love him and think he's hilarious, others hate him for being a perv, and most people have no idea how Mineta managed to get into Class 1A in the first place. In this video, we will be talking about Mineta as a character and about the true power of his quirk Pop-Off, an ability that lets him pull extremely sticky balls from his head and throw them at his opponents. The other day I asked you guys what exactly you wanted me to talk about as far as Mineta is concerned, and I got a lot of great responses, so I will be addressing those in the video. For next time, I want to ask you guys to come up with some crazy theories about Boku no Hero and share them with me on Twitter and Instagram. Just follow us at Anime Uproar and reply to the pinned thread. They can be serious theories like who is the UA traitor, or joke theories like Deku's father is actually Spike from Cowboy Bebop. The only rule is that your theories can't just be manga spoilers, they have to be theories, but otherwise anything goes, knock yourselves out. And by the way, if you enjoyed the Boku no Hero content on this channel, don't forget to leave a like to let me know. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and Detroit smash that notification bell. Minoru Mineta is one of the more interesting characters in Boku no Hero, to say the least. He is a short boy prone to freakouts, and he is known to be the class pervert who constantly thinks about girls and even tries to peek in on the girls in his class when they are changing or in a public bath. Because of this, the girls think he's a weirdo, and Mineta often ends up getting his little purple ass kicked by the girls whenever he goes too far. Mineta has also said some controversial things in the manga, which I won't get into because of spoilers. But needless to say, the purpose of this video is not to defend or justify everything that Mineta does, but rather to talk about him as a character and his quirk, and also to talk about why the creator of Boku no Hero, Kohei Horikoshi, decided to include a character like Mineta in the first place. As previously mentioned, Mineta's quirk produces sticky balls on his head that he can rip off and throw at opponents. While the balls stick to other people and to objects and surfaces, they do not stick to Mineta, and instead they bounce off of him. The stickiness of Mineta's balls actually varies. If he is in perfect health, his balls will be sticky for the whole day. But if he is not feeling well, the stickiness of his balls will suffer. On top of that, if Mineta pops off too many balls in a short period of time, he begins to bleed, so he has to use his quirk in moderation. Mineta's quirk has one named technique, which is known as Grape Rush. This attack involves Mineta running towards his opponent and throwing as many sticky balls at them as possible. The goal is to overwhelm the opponent with an avalanche of sticky balls and render the opponent immobile because the balls keep them pinned to the ground and other surfaces, preventing them from moving. On top of using them as a weapon, Mineta can also use his balls, the ones produced by his quirk, for climbing and moving around rapidly by bouncing off of them. Despite often being portrayed as a neurotic pervert, there is more to Mineta as a character than that. He is also shown to be very intelligent, and even though he often uses that intelligence for perverted schemes, during the final exams arc, Mineta impresses everyone when he uses Sero's tape to cover his mouth and nose, negating the effect of Midnight's quirk, and then manages to immobilize Midnight using Grape Rush in an area far enough from the gate for her quirk to be ineffective. Not only that, but Mineta goes out of his way to grab Sero and help him through the gate, which demonstrates that Mineta can be a committed and loyal classmate. Over on Twitter, Lord Mineta, clearly a big fan of Mineta, wants me to talk about the extremely divided fan base, as everyone seems to either love Mineta or hate him. Now, this is how I see things and why I believe that Horikoshi decided to include him in Class 1A. Mineta is first and foremost a comic relief character. His pervy and somewhat neurotic nature leads to a lot of humorous situations, and so it provides comic relief even in otherwise tense situations such as the attack of the villains at the USJ. We all know that one kid in high school who was always making sexual jokes and thinking about sex way too much. And if you didn't know someone like that, chances are that you were that person. In that sense, Mineta is based on real high school boys who can get pretty pervy at that age. The difference is that Mineta takes it too far. He tries to manipulate the girls into giving him fan service, and he even tries to peek in on the girls when they are changing or taking a bath. Obviously, this is unacceptable in the real world, and no one should try to peek or spy on anyone else against their will, whether you're a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter, do not do it. And with that said, I don't think Horikoshi is actually promoting this type of behavior. You will notice that every time Mineta tries to do something overly pervy, he ends up suffering severe consequences. Like when he gets stabbed in the eye by Jiro for trying to peek in on the girls changing, or when he gets pushed off the wall by Koda when he tries to peek in on the girls in the bath. The lesson that Horikoshi is trying to teach us isn't that Mineta's behavior is acceptable, but rather that this type of behavior is not okay and that it will have consequences. Especially when the girls you're trying to spy on have badass quirks that they can use to teach you a lesson. So Horikoshi is using Mineta for comic relief and also to teach us that going too far in being a perv has consequences. But with that said, Mineta is more than just a one-dimensional pervert character. The fact that he shows great intelligence and loyalty to his classmates like Sero demonstrates that there is another side to him, and that he does have the potential to develop into a good hero if he can learn to control himself and if he can focus on improving his abilities instead of only thinking about girls. Also, let's remember that female characters like Midnight and Pixie Bob can also be pervy. And Pixie Bob was flirty with some of the Class 1A male students even though she is 31 years of age, saying she wants to see them in 3 years when they're 18, so there might also be a bit of a double standard here. Lorena is wondering how in the world did Mineta pass the entrance exam and end up in Class 1A, and someone like Shinso, who has a powerful mind control quirk, ended up in 1C, also known as the General Studies class. And a few other people on Twitter and Instagram were also wondering about this exact thing. Well, we know that Mineta is intelligent, so the written portion of the entrance exam wouldn't have been a problem for him. But the question is, how did Mineta pass the physical portion of the exam? First, we have to remember that Mineta can use his sticky balls to climb various surfaces, including buildings, and the physical test was conducted in an urban setting. Mineta can also jump on his own balls and bounce off of them, allowing him to evade the villain bots that would have been attacking him at the exam. Mineta might have been using these two abilities, climbing and bouncing, to somehow rescue other students. And we have to remember that points were also granted for rescuing others. In fact, Deku gained 0 points for fighting villains, and he passed solely due to the fact that he had high rescue points. Alternatively, Mineta might have used his sticky balls to immobilize a bunch of the villain bots like he did to Midnight with Grape Rush. And that's how he earned enough points to pass. He took out enough villains to get the points. On the other hand, Shinso's mind control quirk only works on living creatures, not on robots. So he would have been at a disadvantage at the entrance exam since his quirk would have been useless. Noxtaku says that Mineta is the perfect disguise for All for One, and Joshua wants me to talk about why Mineta is the UA traitor. While I agree that Mineta being a traitor or a villain would be pretty funny, I think that if he was secretly evil, he would try harder to be inconspicuous. A good spy isn't going to constantly draw attention to himself by acting like the class pervert, at least one would think. But you never know with Mineta, he could still turn out to be an evil genius. I mean, just look at that ominous facial expression. Double X Double says that Mineta's secret backstory is that his dad is actually the grape guy from Fruit of the Loom. That is pretty funny actually, and I have no idea why Horikoshi decided to design Mineta with a grape-inspired quirk and costume. But you have to admit that this makes him memorable. I for one would love to see more grape-based superhero representation in the Marvel movies. This institutionalized grapecism has got to stop. Ninja asks, why does Mineta look like someone stuffed a bunch of grapes into the bottom half of an egg? You know what, I'm not even going to respond to this. How dare you body shame Mineta? He is stunning and brave. My buddy Caster for Life wants to see a video on why Mineta is an evil Australian spy. Think you got the wrong anime, Caster. You're thinking of Rival from Code Geass. Over on the Anime Uproar Instagram, we also had a bunch of comments about Mineta being the UA traitor, why he is such a perv, and how he passed the entrance exam in the first place. Young 2C wants me to talk about what Mineta means to the anime industry. As the first mainstream anime character who proudly embraces the stickiness of his balls, I think that Mineta is a true pioneer for the sticky balls community. The anime dude says that without Mineta, there never would have been a cheerleader scene in season 2. Also, he is one of the author's favorite characters, so the anime dude can actually imagine him playing a relatively big role in future arcs. In all seriousness, I do think that Horikoshi plans to develop Mineta as a character. We've already seen glimpses of his intelligence and willingness to help out his classmates, so I do think that Mineta has the potential to grow out of his perv phase and become a more balanced character and a true hero in the future. And that is it for this video on Minoru Mineta. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like to let me know. If you happen to be new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and Detroit smash that notification bell so you can be notified whenever another Boku no Hero video is up. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Anime Uproar if you want to participate in the next video. Remember, the next video topic is crazy theories about Boku no Hero. Now, before you go, be sure to leave a comment down below. I want to know your thoughts about Mineta. Do you like him? Do you hate him? Do you just not care? Let me know. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.